Got some strike issues at times, predominantly a right miss, but then a possibility for a two-way miss. Rib cage, head, and even a little bit of hit, low and away. That's an issue for the quality of the strike. Also, it's a speed production issue.
Right.
A very, very short period of time to get this face essentially 90 degrees closed. Reduce how much these arms are throwing off your body and all that closing of the face down through the ball.
This is a disaster.
That's so
right?
true. Yeah.
That's why, thankfully, we got SERVPRO on their side.
That's right.
We're gonna clean this up like it never even happened. Today we are at Altus Performance Center at Trinity Forest, kicking off our new game improvement series thanks to SERVPRO, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. I'm here with teaching professionals Cody Lundberg and Al Higgs, who are going to watch me play a few holes, assess my game, and do their best to clean up the mess.
I'm Cody Lundberg, coach at Altus Performance here in Dallas, Texas, where we head court out of Trinity Forest Golf Club.
Al Higgs, new Altus coach here in the last month.
And people know you probably from your brother, but there's a lot more to the story besides that.
So played golf in college here at SMU, played a few years professionally, mini tours, couple Corn Ferry tours, tour events, and then caddied for my brother for 4 years, couple odds and ends with other players as well, and then recently stopped caddying and now am learning under the tutelage of Corey and Cameron. Just getting started and looking forward to help as many people as I can.
So we're gonna have some disasters out there, I'm gonna tell you. The good thing is that we're gonna be able to hopefully clean them up with your guys' help. You're gonna be looking over the swing, get me redialed out, relying on you a lot, because I think there's some simple things that anybody can improve on, just course knowledge, how you're setting things up, how you're looking at the hole, that I hope we bring out today. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool, let's do it.
Awesome.
So if our objective will be twofold while we're out here. One, if we weren't going to make any technical improvements, what are the ways that we can improve how your processing skills, how you're making decisions on the golf course? And then our second objective is just to observe what this looks like out here in the real world so that we can go back to the bay and we can maybe solve some of the common misses that we see show up out here. Cool.
Perfect.
Al? If we were going to go through processing skills for a tee shot on the PGA Tour and pretend you had someone that listened to you more than Harry Higgs, how would that go?
Harry and I would look at a field goal post out there, so we'd find our rightmost boundary given the wind that certain day and the temperature, and a left boundary, and then pick a target in the middle, and then after that, pick the target of where you're going to start.
Al, just going off your field goal post here. I know we have rough all the way up the left-hand side, right? I hit a cut. We also have wind off the left, though. Say that was water.
Yeah, I think that you're trying to do a cost-benefit analysis.
For sure.
On what's the strokes gained if that ball's in the water, what's the strokes gained if that ball's in the rough, and what is it if it's in the bunker.
Right.
And it's a clear decision that I'm building in a buffer to the most penal miss.
Shot.
224, Al.
So as you're getting up to a shot, you're looking at what?
Lie first. I mean, I like the lie. Doesn't look crazy from what I can see up there. Got a little bit of help behind it, but I also know that it's Trinity and I probably need to land something short, way short of this, and it hopefully will run up.
And I think that the two pieces of information that I would want you to clue on even more than any of that are, one, I want to know the cover number. I want to know what is it to the front. That's going to help you make that decision you're about to make with all those clubs in your hand. And then where's the miss relative to that pin? Like, where's the place that I'm trying to avoid, and where am I going to give myself the easiest chance to get up and down? Because we're 240 or something out right here. Our percentage of hitting the green from 240, even with one this big, is going to be relatively low. So then we're building in the new field goal post relative to the miss that I want to avoid the most, and where's the easiest place to get it up and down. I mean, when you go through and you look at your best rounds relative to your worst rounds, you're seeing, on the bad ones, you're seeing sixes on par fives.
Right.
I mean, it just kills you around. And so if we can reduce the likelihood of that happening by picking a really, really smart field goal here, then I like that way better.
It's all into the grain up there, so it'll actually stop relatively quickly if it lands short, so we probably want to land it all the way to the hole.
Good caddy.
So yes, the wind is helping, but there's so much more green behind it than there is short, and short will be wet and kind of grainy. So we'd be trying to land this at the pin, 224, with a little bit of help. I want to build in some buffer to get it past it, so we're not going to play much wind, like 220. So what club in your bag?
4-iron.
So it's a perfect 4-iron.
How different is that from the club you would have picked when you walked up? Is it different at all?
Probably would have hit hybrid. Well, actually, I take that back. I probably would have hit 5-iron until you were talking about into the grain.
Yeah, so I mean, it rained last night, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things that some people don't look at. I mean, we look at it when we caddy on tour, but
Yeah.
like when you mentioned running it up, now generally speaking out here, yeah, you want to try to run things up on some
Right.
holes, but with the upslope short of the green, with the upslope in the first 8 paces of the green, anything you try to run up is going to plug, and it's going to lead you to a harder chip than the putt from 30 feet behind it would be.
Okay. Oh, I almost missed it. It's okay though.
Okay, that's the one we fix in the bay, right? So we're accounting on that field goal post. We can't really take that shot into account. We're building that field goal post on like 80% of your shots, where the bulk of your shot's gonna end up, and sometimes you hit a shitty shot. We're not really accounting for that.
That's okay though, right?
Oh, it's in the bunker.
Bunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hit it where Al told you not to hit it.
Yes. Can't believe you did that. Al. How are we in here?
Al, how are we in this bunker right
Yeah.
here? So your job as a non-professional golfer is to
Get it out.
get it on the green somewhere. Like we're just not getting this up and down very much. Your job is just to make sure that you're not hitting the next one from this bunker.
Sick.
Yeah, so if I would have asked you before that, like what's an acceptable proximity from that spot? Like what would be, okay, we're cool with that. How many feet from the hole would you say?
20 feet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a little less than that, but yeah, I mean, that's well within, like that's a good shot right there. Very well done.
204.
Yeah, so this is another one that I'll frame as, like, I feel like I'm being a pessimist here, but if you make a 3 on every par 3 that you make for the rest of your life, then you're gaining
pretty
on
good.
everybody else, right? I don't think that the flag is even in our field goal post. I think maybe it's the right post, just because the further right you are, that's where you start to get short-sighted and you've got a elevated green to chip up to. And so having that be our right post and then the left side of the green be our left post. I mean, we hit this green, if we hit it to 35 feet, 2 putt for par, we're happy.
Yeah.
And 204 into this much wind, I mean, it's at least a 220 shot.
Yeah.
You excited to be able to hit 4-iron on the first 2 holes?
No.
All right, so we're just looking at right over the white. Just find something in the middle of the field goal, right? Your cut's not going to cut right now because of the way the wind is. We're just hitting right over this white tee marker right in front of us.
Yep.
If you pull it, it's fine. It's an easy up and down. If it cuts, it's probably going to hold the green.
Perfect. Love that. Ah.
Okay, we're going to test my up and down.
Just more shitty caddying, Cody.
Yeah.
No.
You know the most important part about hitting a cut, Cody?
Hitting the cut.
All right, so around the greens, I think it's nice to have some steps that we follow as far as just like processing these shots. How high do we want to hit this? Where are we going to land it? How's the lie going to affect things? I mean, I think that's the 3 basic pieces of information that I want you to pay attention to. Lie-wise, we got a tight lie. We need to hit a shot that gives you confidence that we're getting ball first.
Yeah.
So that's going to influence a little bit of the height and landing spot here. So I'll let you take it from there. Whatever you think is going to give you the best chance of going ball first here.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the lie. It's obviously Bermuda. It rained yesterday, but it's still pretty firm.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel grabby. I feel like, you know, using the bounce, getting a little steep on it, it's fine.
Yeah, cool. And we got into the wind here, which shapes a little bit of the height that we're going to hit this and where we're going to land it, right? So
Yep.
give me an idea what that picture looks like.
If I try to carry it all the way there, I feel like if I don't clip it, I'm going to end up way short.
Yeah.
This shot, at least getting it out there and getting it on the ground running, it'll continue to run too, and I'm not worried about it running off the green on the other side.
100%. I'm with that. That's what I would have suggested. Just anytime, if we have a choice to get this ball rolling like a putt, the quicker we can, I think that's the choice that most guys should make. So I like that a lot.
Okay.
Cool. Let's do it.
Whoa. Settle. Settle.
it kind of kicked a little hard, kind of skipped. I mean, that's another piece, is that if we had a good caddy, what he might have pointed out to us is, you know, I know it rained last night. There is some moisture on these greens. Yeah. And so having that initial skip, like you saw that take that really hard first bounce, like skip, instead of having, you know, the friction that would happen if it was a little drier right there. Even that little moisture in there can kill some of that spin to where it took that really quick hop off that downslope. So a lot of good caddies would have brought that up to you before.
Well, a good guy would have told you to get your 58 degree. But Corey said he liked that shot, so we had to go with it.
I like the lower lofted. That's all.
Well, I like getting it all the way there into the wind and just having it stop, especially after seeing my guy's contact.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a nice strike. I wasn't prepared for that.
I don't know how much it's going to break, but
you think Al might help you with that?
Yeah. So what do you do when you are on a green like this? Do you pick a spot at the hole? Do you pick a spot halfway? How do you kind of
usually
work with alignment?
Halfway usually. Okay. That's why I was coming up and looking in here.
Yeah. I think it's uphill, it's slow. I know you haven't hit any putts today, but I'm looking really close to the left edge. I think it's pretty straight overall.
Really? I overread the shit out of that.
Okay.
I was like,
I mean, there's some of the wind too, honestly, Cody, that we're taking into account there as well. And I might be wrong.
No, I mean, I think it's fascinating because I was literally like 3 balls outside of that.
I mean, I'm in like right through here. Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have listened to the caddy.
I think the left edge of that bunker would be the left field goal post. And then kind of in line with this white tee marker, there's a little bit of a dark green patch on the side slope. It's kind of hard to pick targets out here sometimes, but that'd be the right, just because right, there's actual hazard over there, so we're building in a little bit of buffer, especially with your shot shape. So starting something kind of middle of that bunker and just letting the wind take over. It's going to be the same wind direction you had on the first hole we played. So similar feels here off the tee, trying to recreate that. Nice. Sick.
It's a good caddy.
A little Healy, but
we'll get to that.
That plays on that one.
Yeah.
Good caddy. Like that. We're learning a lot. It's very fascinating because I've always been like, oh, pick that point out there. But when they set up and like use the goalposts, your far left limit, your far right limit, of where you want your ball ending, it makes complete sense instead of just trying to be like, oh, that's my point, and I missed it to the left or missed it to the right, and then I feel like I'm a failure. But the goalpost kind of opens your mind. All right, 177 all the way to it. Good lie.
It is down grain. The green all runs from middle to the back right portion. So I think to account for some release, we land at 170, and the wind is probably 730 almost. So a 60 shot in the air, and our field goal post here, the right is the flag. Anything landing at the flag or right of it would just kind of trickle off to the right, and then the left field goal post is the right edge of that bunker there.
Well done, man. Awesome.
What we got?
I think it's going to be a lot quicker than I think it is.
Yeah, I would agree.
Down grain, once we get up there, and wind helping.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this breaks a ton. If it skirts the left side of that ball mark, I think we should be pretty good. Nice putting.
Okay. I'm gonna have to start taking you with me to play golf all the time. We're gonna hit up Keaton Park, Cedar Crest.
I mean, I've tried to invite you out here like
Rangers.
8 times since the last time you were here, and you haven't.
Every time you text me, well, listen, your mule schedule that you used to work.
Oh, bud.
We would be at tournaments.
Yeah.
Those were your only off
We'd be in
weeks.
Puerto Rico. You got to be in.
You should have just invited me to Puerto Rico with me.
Oh, we would probably had more fun there.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get out of this north wind.
All right.
we want to work ball backwards. So we see the misses that we saw on the golf course. We've got some strike issues at times, which we saw when we sprayed the face. Predominantly a right miss, but then a possibility for a two-way miss. And that definitely, there's some things that definitely correlate to those misses that we're seeing. So there's two big things that I'd like to dig into a little bit and troubleshoot with you through a few drills. There's a lot of ways we can fix it. We just got to find the right way, the easiest way for you to solve these. So first is the strike, the red flag for the strike issues that we're seeing. From face on, just watching this initial shift of hips, rib cage, head, all of this moving down and away in this initial move right here. So right here in the backswing, you've reduced the amount of space that you have pretty significantly, right? That's gonna make it harder to strike to land the club in the right spot relative to the ball, right? So that's why I asked if there were any fat shots. Most people are gonna hit a lot of fat shots right here. You're such a good athlete that you avoided those fat shots for the most part. But we did see the heel strikes, and that's a little bit from this rib cage going here. So that's an issue for the quality of the strike, like the consistency of you being able to put the middle of the face on the ball. Also, it's a speed production issue. That's less of a priority here. It'd be nice to have a little bit more speed through this is a nice bonus. But I think the main thing is I would want to find ways to reduce how much this upper mass is moving down and away from the target, basically. So that's part one. That, I think, cleans up a little bit of the strike. And now the second piece here is some of the directional stuff that I'm intrigued to troubleshoot with you, because there's a few different ways that we can go about it. We just want to find the easiest way for you. Yeah, so now you've got like pretty much toe up right here at last parallel. That's right before last parallel. So you have a very, very short period of time to get this face essentially 90 degrees closed, to have 90 degrees of closure from this point to here, and not a lot of time to do it. The way that you do that is pretty unique. So I want you to watch right arm right here, like how much your right arm moves off of your body, away from your body, and then those hands kind of flip over. So this is you closing the face as fast as you can right here, just because of how open it is here. So I would want to mess with this, explore some solutions twofold. One, I want to build in some strength to the face to get the face a little bit stronger, so that you no longer have to have all this late, hard closing down by the ball. And you see when that right arm gets way off your body, like right elbow, like way off your body. This is when you have this really high right arm, high finish right here that I think is pretty unique to you. It's
me and BJ.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there's some of that in him as well. So I think the backswing stuff is pretty easy, just killing some of that movement of the upper mass down and away. I think this is harder work. If all I did was reduce the amount of right arm moving away and how much flipping there was through the ball, then we would just create a massive push cut.
Yep.
Right. So I can't just do that. That's the look that I want to have go away, but it's like you have to find the lead domino, because there's something that happened before that's cascading down further in the swing into this right here. And so there's a reason why you do all this with your arms in an effort to close the face. And so we've got to kind of do both at the same time, which makes it harder work. We've got to find some strength in the face, and then we're going to try to reduce how much these arms are throwing off your body and all that closing of the face down through the ball.
This is a disaster.
That's so true. Yeah.
That's why, thankfully, we got SERVPRO on our side.
That's right.
We're going to clean this up like it never even happened.
We're just going to create a reference point or an obstruction so that you have an idea for how much you've moved down and away. Like, so I want you to feel like almost that you're extending and you're growing. So this right side is almost like you're getting taller right here, rather than what you like to do, which is let that rib cage go down and away. So I want you to feel almost like it's lifting, and we'll use this will be your reference point to know how good of a job you're doing with that. I'm gonna try to push you towards the yellow. Good. I think most people hit the first few balls and they're like, I hit those like shit. And they bail and they spit the bit immediately. And that's where that cycle of never getting better comes from, is that they don't spend enough time on that piece to get good at it. So one of these is a lot better than the other.
Oh,
I mean, that's significant. I mean, but that's like it's just way more centered. But I'll take the ball away for a second just so that this is a little, maybe you end up halfway in between what you did at the beginning and what you're doing just there. Yeah, so taller and a little bit more centered. Those would be the two cues that I want you to pay attention to. We felt like what it was when it was kind of exaggerated, we had the obstruction, and I want to hear that club slam into that turf. Yeah, so seriously, so let's talk about, people talk about low point position.
Yeah.
The ground is the first floor.
Yep.
I want you in the basement. Okay. I want you in the deepest, darkest depths of the basement right here from that backswing position. Awesome. That's what I want you to do. Nice. Okay.
We have liftoff.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, really good. Let's have a little progress check here, Cody. But you see the difference in that right side, kind of extending instead of just going down. If we look here, hopefully we have less. Yeah. See how we just got so much more space right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good job. If that's all we did, this is in an hour that I was seeing you, this would be enough. If this would be one thing that you walked out of here and you were working on, your strikes would get a lot better. And so that's enough. But just for the sake of, I don't know when I'm going to see you again, let's mess with the downswing piece at the risk of some information overload, right?
Okay.
But with recognizing that there's some attentional cost here. You only have a capacity to put your attention on so many things. Right now, there is a bright spotlight on backswing, staying tall. So we expect to see some regression in that as we move our attention to something else. But I want to give you a little bit of a roadmap for when you practice. All right, prior number one is improve my strikes. I got to feel this taller. I can't have this rib cage going down in a way. And then prior number two, how I'm going to control the face and keep that face a little bit more, you could say, stable without all that late closing happening, so that you can make sure that the face to path matches up how you want. This is that type of work. So I'm kind of isolating it in two different spots that you would almost work separately at getting good at. Because if you walk out of here and you're working on both of these things simultaneously, it's a really good recipe for being shitty at both of them. So we want to isolate this in your practice a little bit. Let's do a little towel drill. So what we're trying to get rid of is this right arm being your mechanism to close the face really quickly at the bottom. We're trying to get rid of all of this, and it's like a lot of right arm away from your body, a lot of pronation in that right arm, and those hands kind of rolling over to close the face. I'm gonna take that away. Let's just highlight that connection between like right pack, right bicep here. Good. Cool, let's hit it. Nice. If you have 20% of this, then we're in business. Let's do a few more. Good job. I mean, you doing about 1,000 of those is probably the prescription right there.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good work. Great job. Those are looking really, really good, man. You feel your body moving a little bit differently through the ball as well. Like there's a whole bunch more like trunk rotation through there as well. Like this looks so good, bud. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, so good, man. It's so cool seeing that trunk move through it and not stall.
Feels good.
Yeah, we just need a bunch of those.
But
I know, we just need a bunch of those, man. We need a bunch of those so that becomes the new normal. So on the right as before, where we see the right arm working far away, there's a lot of pronation, a lot of rotation in those hands and arms in an effort to close the face very quickly. And over here we see just everything connected a little bit better and the face a lot more stable. So we won't go through all three of these, but for that last practice session, to set this up as, okay, 3 ball sets, backswing piece. It's gonna be my focus right here.
Okay.
Then I'm going to try to really do a good job on the downswing with my right arm through the ball. Then I'm going to try to do my best. How can I blend those two keys into one swing? And then this last set might be
swing.
If I was on the golf course,
yeah.
What am I going to do on the golf course where I'm actually trying to hit a shot? We can see how much of it shows up in there. But I like kind of splitting these up, having a progression. Good job with upper body. Okay, next 3-ball set here. Really good with right arm here. Good work, man. How do you think you did?
Good.
I think you did awesome.
Felt big stretch.
You did good, man. That was really, really impressive. The changes there in just 50 balls or so. Good job, bud. Wrapping up here, if we're going to put a bow on this and give you some direction to actually increase the likelihood that this changes your golf game, is not just a day where we worked on a couple of things and they disappear as soon as you leave here. Full swing, 2 big takeaways. What's your upper mass doing in backswing?
Yeah.
Making sure that we're not shifting down and away from the target. Downswing, having that right arm behave a little bit differently than it has in the past, and taking away that late closing, all that late closing of the face through that right arm. That's the technique, that's the form takeaways, but around all of that is like how you work on this stuff is going to make a big difference. So hopefully we've had enough conversations that have gone over exactly what you need to be doing in practice and the kind of training principles that underpin all this stuff that make it likely that this actually improves your golf game.
I'm like jacked to go hit more balls.
Sweet. Good job, man.
Awesome. Man, what a day out here. I can't thank Corey again and the rest of the Altus team. Having Al here was a huge bonus for it. And it was some basic stuff that I need to work on in my swing, both my backswing and coming through, that after Corey was able to explain them to me just made a world of difference. I think the biggest thing that stuck out though is him not just explaining it and showing it on video, but us working through it, giving me drills, and putting me in the right position and getting these feels to kind of reinforce it. So I actually have a lesson plan to take home with me, which I think is the biggest thing when you go do any lesson wherever you're at. I got a lot of homework. Got to work on not moving my ribs closer to the ball, keep my space, and really extending on my backswing, and then keeping my right bicep and kind of pinching my right pec. Instead of throwing it out like that, but easy fixes, and I'm excited. I feel like this mess was cleaned up. So SERVPRO, we did our job here, all right? A lot of this stuff did happen, but thankful to you, we got it cleaned up. Success.